Now some news close to home. Our parent company Disney unveiling new streaming service Disney Plus. It will bring top movies and shows direct to you. Disney chief Bob Iger promises it'll be a game changer for consumers.
Welcome back to Disney Marvels for week of November 7th, 2021. This is episode 154. Disney Marvels, the show about Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm, Muppets, Pixar, 20th Century, the parks, and much, much more. If it has to do with Disney, it's fair game. I'm your host, Matthew Graken. Must apologize for the delay. Things get crazy. Time passes before I realize it. And here we are another week later. So, first of all, happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all who served our country here in the United States or any country. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you very much for your time, your sacrifice, your family's sacrifice. It does not go unnoticed, and we truly appreciate and thank you. There's not enough words, there's not enough things that we can do to show our appreciations for everything you have done. It does not go unnoticed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Also, on the survey end, I put that survey out there. What did you think of Muppets Haunted Mansion? And options being, loved it, mostly enjoyed it, didn't care for it, and a hard pass. Well, 0% of you said it's a hard pass. 11% of you said you didn't care for it. And 33% of you mostly enjoyed it. But the majority of 56% loved it. That's great to hear. Glad to hear it. I'm so happy we're getting more and more new Muppets content. It's long overdue, and I think as things keep progressing, things are going to start ending up in the right direction, and we're going to get better content, because the more that you get going, the more feedback, the more they could tweak, the more they could work on it and hone and just get there. And I see these as good things for the Muppets, for Disney, for everybody, the Muppets and Disney fans. So keep it coming. Keep it coming. And on that note, we'll be back after these words from our friends and sponsors. And now, on with the show. It's hard to believe that 2 years ago, Disney gave us a gift. Well, a gift that we do have to pay monthly for, but a gift just the same of a streaming service that we didn't realize we needed. And in the coming months, it strangely enough was something that I think altogether we definitely needed. And that would be Disney Plus. And to talk about the forthcoming, depending when you're listening to this, or the just recently passed Disney Plus Day, I had to bring on the man, the myth, and the legend that I spoke about Disney Plus in the early days, and we get excited about some of the stuff that is on Disney Plus. Mr. Isaac Segou, welcome back. It's been way too long, brother. How you doing?
Oh, man, thank you for having me back, dude. It's been way too long. I'm happy. Hopefully the listeners are happy to have me back too. Or maybe like, yeah, he's not back. But yeah, man. But I'm happy to be back with you, Matt. Man, I hope everything's well with you.
It's that guy, the guy who likes the Batman movies.
Yeah. The Florian slip of DC movies that will slip onto this podcast. It's pretty bad.
Hey, these things happen.
Yeah.
These things happen. But yeah, like I said, we're getting our first, even though it's the second anniversary, but the first occurrence of Disney Plus Day. As I saw someone joking around, it's like, hey, Chapek, Amazon has Prime Day. What do we have? So they came up with like but it's not. It is so different than Amazon's Prime Day, because that's all about selling stuff. Where this is, I mean, they're trying to increase their obviously subscription base, because that's just the business model.
Yeah.
But they're giving us I feel a lot of content and a lot of little perks here and there, in addition to, and thanks for the subscription. And first off, and you discussed this a little bit when we were pre-gaming, I think one of the, I won't say the biggest thing, but the thing to kind of get people interested, or at least people to be able to partake in Disney Plus Day, is starting now, I think, was it through the rest of the month or so, that we can, if you don't already have Disney Plus, you can subscribe for $2 for your first month.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the biggest promotion for Disney Plus, like you said. They want to kind of go in that same realm of like what Amazon does, where they kind of give their customers kind of free service, and rightfully so, because it's clear within the tentpole what Disney's trying to do. It seems Disney Plus release is a really important component in terms of how they want to issue entertainment moving forward. And it's making them tons of money at the moment. It was a huge big component during 2020 was the pandemic that was happening. And yeah, why not? It makes perfect sense for the people at Disney to be jumping on in a situation like this. I think it does make perfect sense to continue to increase the number of people and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I think it's going to be a good idea. What they're going to be offering, I think it's going to be fun, and I guess we're going to see what's going to be given, which I think you have a lot of the stuff that's going to be spread out throughout their whole tentpole of entertainment services.
Yeah, it's $2 for the first month, but and I've always felt, I mean, this is just my opinion, so other people may say otherwise, that the $7.99, or basically $8 that it is for a month, compared to other streaming services, Netflix, I'm looking at you,
yeah,
is quite a bargain.
No, no, and I agree. Yeah, no, I think for what they can do, I think it is a very great bargain of what they can achieve. In terms of when you look at, let's say, the big competition like a Netflix, well, I was going to say Hulu, who is a part of Disney Plus, was like amongst against like the competition like Amazon and Netflix. Yeah, Disney Plus seems to be the more kind of offers the better bang. I wouldn't say the better bang for your buck, but it's the most cheaper of the services that are being offered. And
I would say value.
Better value, yeah, and especially probably even better value if you go for Hulu and ESPN and part of the whole package, which is a greater value, which you would have the combination of all those other two services as well, if you are a sports fan and other forms of entertainment. So yeah, no, I could totally see. Now, is it just only for Disney Plus? I assume that doesn't cross over with the Hulu and ESPN. I don't think they mentioned that.
Correct. Yeah, no, it's just on Disney Plus. It is not including a Hulu subscription or an ESPN Plus subscription. available users in the U.S. and all other countries where Disney Plus is live, except for Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. But
Interesting.
otherwise, worldwide, your first month is for $2 or the equivalent thereof, then $7.99. I mean, yes, they have increased their prices as we all predicted, but in the 2 years that they've been running this service, it started off at $6.99. It's now only $7.99.
Which is good. I think that's good that they were able to commit to keeping it very low with the stuff that they're going to get now. I think we can both say that slowly, as more they acquire stuff, the price will slowly inflate a little bit over time, though. But for what it is for the last 2 years, I think it's been a pretty good bargain for people that have loved Disney content.
Yeah, you got your National Geographics, you have your Star Wars, you have your Marvel, you have your Disney, you have your Fox stuff. You have quite a bit there.
National Geographic's on there as well.
Yeah, the National Geographic. So you have a lot of diverse content. Some of it original, some of it is been out otherwise. You'll see it on the cable channels. But I think, like I said, as far as a value goes, it is something that most people could easily find something that they probably like or enjoy within there. So that's I think that initial offer of the $2 and just the general price of it is it's not something that's going to break the bank as easily as some of these places that you have to pay $12+ for.
Mm-hmm.
And and you find, and it's a blend of original content and like the blockbuster movies and historic stuff, like legacy or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
So you get all that good stuff for $8 a month. So therefore we shall be celebrating on November 12th, Disney Plus Day, with a slew of new content either coming that day or shortly after.
Yes.
One of the things that I'm looking forward to most will be one of the ones shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and let me indulge and log back into my computer, and I could go through the list of wonderful things that are coming.
Yeah. Well, while you do that, I think one of the many perks that's going to be happening November 12th for Disney Plus Day is their partnership with AMC Theaters, which I found very intriguing. So through November 12th through the 14th, to be able to purchase a $5 ticket to a unique Disney Plus showing that you're not going to know until you get your butts in the seats for, which I thought is very unique. So that can go from anywhere Disney Plus content, I guess, for what you want to purchase. And along with that, I think you are also going to get like a Coke and a bag of popcorn, as long as you show your $5 ticket, which I think is also valued at $5 as well. So I mean,
I can't go to a normal movie for $5 anymore.
No, you can't. No, you can't. So for this kind of like this unique special day, I mean, I think that's great for families that just want to be able to take their family. If you're on a tight budget for that week, Disney may have saved your wallet for at least
you still get to go out
and
not have to pay.
Yeah, for at least for that particular window. When you go to AMC Theaters, though. But yeah, I think that's a cool, fun idea. Like you said, if you want to go out, like I said, with a family, just to be able to enjoy it with, get Disney Plus programming on the big screen, which I think is really, really cool. And, I was a big proponent of things like that, like to be able to kind of host, Disney Plus shows on the big screen. Like, it would be kind of cool to be able to see, like, Captain, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier on the big screen. Maybe have like little parties and stuff like that, kind of leaning into like certain movies, kind of like what they already do with a lot of Marvel stuff, like if the new Captain America 4 would come out, maybe it'd be cool to have those Captain America movies along with, you know, Captain America and Winter Soldier to kind of lead into it. And I think that'd be like a big
Marathon
cool way of
days,
doing
yeah.
it. Have those marathon days that Disney Plus kind of presents. You're working alongside AMC. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting that Disney Plus and AMC were kind of working together as, you know, kind of like, because you know, AMC kind of sees Disney Plus as a rival in terms of the entertainment spectrum. But I think that's pretty cool that they're offering that.
Especially the battle that they had whenever Disney had pulled some things like Black Widow and whatnot, and either put them directly to streaming or put it to streaming and theaters. So that was they had some words back then. So the fact that, you know, this is happening, it seems like they you know, they're mending a little bit. They're mending that relationship.
No, totally, definitely.
Yeah, so on top of that, you have free shipping from Shop Disney from 12th through the 14th, plus a limited time actually going on at this moment, that they're rolling out new customizable products from Disney, from Pixar, Star Wars, and Marvel, including short sleeve shirts and long sleeve t-shirts for kids and adults from Disney Plus favorites, such as Raya and the Last Dragon, Luca, Star Wars The Bad Batch, and Loki. So you'll have stuff like that. Some digital ebooks from November 8th through the 17th are only 99 cents. Oh, goodness, what else here? If you're in one of the Disney parks on Disney Plus Day, you can come in half an hour early. So you get 30 minutes extra of park time. Just have to show your Disney Plus subscription. From my understanding of Walt Disney World, if you're staying on property, you actually can get to the parks an hour early. You covered that. Disneyland Paris, you could actually stay, I think it's half an hour later.
Okay, nice. Very, very nice.
There's new AR experiences through the My Disney Experience app, where you can take a special picture with Grogu. Baby Yoda, for those who are for the child, those not in the know.
Yep. If you're not a big fan of Mandalorian, if you've not seen that series, I don't know what you are waiting for.
Definitely check it out. So maybe that's how you can celebrate Disney Plus Day. Mandalorian Marathon.
Ooh, you know what? We got to talk about speaking with the Mandalorian at the end.
Absolutely. Let's see.
And I don't know if you've already mentioned this, but you know, if you're into non-fungible tokens, or NFT, the kids like to call it, you fans would be able to actually. Disney is partnering up with VV for a special NTF offer for golden statues and characters across the Disney family and different brands and franchises like The Simpsons and Star Wars and Marvels. So that might be something interested if you're into the NTF digital token space. That is currently the buzz at this moment.
You know what? And I was actually just looking at this paragraph from Disney Parks blog. And this is probably what they're talking about, because you brought up, it sounds exactly what they didn't word as technical. They said you can also choose memorizing or memorize the magic with releases of limited set of digital collectibles representing some of the most beloved characters from stories and iconic Disney features. Each digital collectible purchased will include a free offer code, allowing new subscribers to enjoy several free months of Disney Plus. Not an exact number, but several free months. So
there you go.
There you go. Yep. Yeah. And then as far as stuff coming out, we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings will be making its Disney Plus debut. So if you haven't caught in theaters, just wait a few more days and you'll be able to see this Stellar movie, from my understanding. I
Very,
unfortunately have not seen it, but you have.
it is a very good film. It's a really enjoyable film. I think, like I said, if you had the opportunity, I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Fans out there should enjoy it.
Yeah. Home Sweet Home Alone, basically a remake of the Home Alone movies. Jungle Cruise will be making its free debut. That was an enjoyable movie. It was fun. If you are a fan of the Jungle Cruise, you will get a lot of the inside jokes. If you are not familiar with the attraction from the Disney parks, it may seem a little bizarre. Olaf Presents, which seems hysterical. Just taking an idea from Frozen 2, where Olaf explains the first Frozen movie in a 3-minute segment and just in a dramatic fashion. He will be doing this with Moana, Tangled, Aladdin, and Lion King.
Interesting.
And Little Mermaid. And Little Mermaid as well. So that should be fantastic. And this is in putting this out there, because this is something I keep saying I want to see. So they did that with the Frozen one. I want to see Luis from Ant-Man recap the MCU movies.
I think that's what everybody's clamoring about. I think everybody wants.
Go ahead. If you can make that happen with Olaf, make it happen with Luis.
You would think that would be a no-brainer in the land of Disney to get Michael Pena to reprise his character and just talk about the entire MCU.
Yeah. Him explaining Endgame would be hysterical.
It would be.
Entrelazado. I didn't hear about this one, and I'm just reading it. It may be, I don't know if it's coming to the States. From my understanding, it should be.
Mm-hmm.
About a girl who dreams of joining the 11 O'Clock Music Hall Company, but her mother is not allowing her to do it. She finds a magic bracelet, and then all of a sudden finds herself back in 1984 when her mother was high school. My goodness, I feel like I'm old. 1984 when her mother was in the same school, starting her career in the 11 O'Clock Music Group, and the grandmother, Coco, is overshadowing her. So changing the past to affect the future. Ciao Alberto, which is a short from Luca.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I'm kind of interested in is these Simpson short plus anniversary. All the release is an image of Homer and Goofy at a looks like a lounge or a bar.
I did see that. I did see that. Live long enough like the Simpsons to eventually be bought out by another company. They've earned it.
But they're still letting them be the Simpsons, but they're integrating them into they have the Force Awakens from its nap.
Yeah.
The Good, the Bart, and the Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Which I found really enjoyable, and especially all the just like the little Easter eggs and everything they throw into that. Moving on from that, though, our friend Jeff Goldblum is back with season 2 of The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Really? Wow! I thought that would be. I'm surprised that's back. I didn't, because I haven't heard anything about that one, but that's good.
No, neither had I. And I mean, as much as when they came out, that was one of the original shows. We both you and I watched that and said how much we enjoyed the first couple of episodes that we'd watched.
Yeah.
Now, to be frank, I didn't get much further into the series.
Me either. There's a I don't know about you, but there's a charm about Jeff Goldblum that is kind of very charming, but also kind of creepy at the same way. It's kind of a
you have to take him in doses.
I think that's the best way.
You have to take him in doses.
Yeah.
You have the making of Happier Than Ever, A Love Letter to Los Angeles, which was a concert series that was a concert show that was on Disney Plus. Marvel's Assembled, the making of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Oh, yes.
Continuation of the Assembled series, Marvel Assembled series of Hawkeye, which will lead into the Hawkeye series that comes out later this month. That's the one that I am looking forward to the most, I think, out of everything, besides Shang-Chi.
Okay.
Then you have Under the Helmet, The Legacy of Boba Fett. Again, this is in anticipation of next month's release of the Book of Boba Fett, which I think looks stellar.
Which we have to talk about.
Yeah, Marvel Studios 2021 Disney Plus Day special. Which they don't get into that. I'm thinking this is the talk that you can now watch. Is it all of the MCU or most of them in IMAX format?
I don't know, but if that's the case, that's news to me. I thought a lot of the films were already on IMAX.
But you could watch it on Disney Plus in IMAX format.
Oh, that's no, wow. I did not hear about that.
They just announced that today.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, you can watch.
What?
Let's see if I can pull up the announcement quicker here on Twitter from Marvel. Let's see, Eternals. Everything here is on Eternals, but I know I did see it here that you'll be able to watch if not some, if not all. Oh, here it is. Marvel fans assemble this Friday, re-entering the Marvel Cinematic Universe with at IMAX expanded aspect ratio, enhanced to coming to Disney Plus. So yeah, you'll be able to watch at least the IMAX treated movies.
Okay.
On Disney Plus.
All right, nice.
In IMAX.
In IMAX
ratio and format.
In IMAX ratio and format. I think that's really, really good. I've not yet seen a movie in IMAX yet, which is very disappointing. But yeah, I think it's no, dude. If they're offering all that's something I would totally look forward to, especially for a lot of those electronic gearheads that have like those that surround sounds and those televisions that can fill out that ratio. I think that's great.
So you're talking about your bedroom there, okay?
Yeah.
A new series in the U.S. coming to Hulu. Everywhere else, it's coming to. Let's see here. The series will be available. A series called Dopestick, which kind of is interesting. It's got Michael Keaton in it. This drama series examines how one company triggered the worst drug epidemic in American history. The series takes views of other epicenters of American struggles within the opioid addiction, from the boardroom of Big Pharma to the distressed Virginian mining community to the hallways of the DEA. Defying all the odds, heroes will emerge in an intense and thrilling ride to take down the craven corporate forces behind the national crisis and their allies. I did not write that, but this series will be available on Disney Plus around the world. However, it is available in Hulu in the United States and will be coming to Stars Plus in Latin America. So it will not be in Disney Plus everywhere, but it is a new program that is coming. We'll be getting some legacy content. Frozen Fever will be coming back, or will be coming. So will the shorts of Feast, Get a Horse, Paperman, Tangled Ever After, Little Match Girl, Ballad of Ness, TikTok Tales. I don't know that one. Enchanted is finally coming because they're working on Enchanted 2.
Mm-hmm.
Spin, which is going to be a series. An Indian American teenager from a conservative South Asian family must overcome numerous hurdles to pursue her passion for creating DJ mixes. That's all I got so far. Wow.
A lot of stuff.
And that's what we know as of 12 o'clock on Monday.
Yeah, with plenty of stuff still filtering in, man. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot, man. It's gonna be a lot for a lot of Disney Plus fans.
I really enjoyed these past 2 years of Disney Plus. The content that they keep bringing us, I end up watching it more than regular TV now. I haven't been watching much in the way of regular TV. I have been, like the Marvel stuff. All these limited series with Marvels for WandaVision, which I believe we're getting a season 2 of. Loki, I know we're getting the season 2 of. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America and the Winter Soldier, as they're now rephrasing it to. Those have been good. The Mandalorian, the animated stuff at the Bad Batch, some of the Mickey Mouse stuff, cartoons, and some of the documentary series have just all been really enjoyable and just have been really good. It's been a good level and standard.
Yeah, I agree with 100% on that.
And what would you have to take as maybe one of your favorite series to come out?
You know what? Out of all the series, I still leave it up there as Falcon, Winter Soldier, which has been Captain America, Winter Soldier right now. So basically, it's still the correct way. That still would have been the right way of saying it, though. But I've been really impressed with a lot of the Disney Plus Marvel stuff, which I was a little bit concerned on how Disney was going to be able to handle that same kind of movie quality content from theaters or into home, and they were able to give you that same kind of quality in your home. I thought it's just not you couldn't beat it. There were even times where we even discussed that certain movies didn't look good compared to the stuff that they were putting on Disney Plus at the moment. So the fact that you're going to get all of these new, and it kind of opens up a new realm. In fact, you can comfortably even introduce more characters into the MCU space, but don't really need to have to spend your time trying to develop these bigger movies. And I think it's even better that you get even more time for a lot of characters. There are kind of like secondary, third players in the recent films, and really have an opportunity to kind of get 9 to 10 episodes with them, and really develop their characters and really understand who they are as characters and the motivations and the tributes. I think it's one of the best things to ever happen moving forward for previous characters that were in the MCU and new characters that they're going to introduce that later hop on to the big screen. So I think that has been the best part about that. And you also start to see the same strategy play with Star Wars and how much you can finally mine with Star Wars. I think one of my biggest not peeves, but my biggest interest in terms of film and television with Star Wars is why haven't they not expanded more on the universe? And they have through cartoons, but not the same way that we're getting it. Like, we're really getting more smaller details surrounding the original Star Wars trilogy and how things played out and the what ifs and what happened to these certain characters. And now they're going back to explore those characters, and they're really hopefully filling in the gaps that us as fans have talked about through Facebook and forums, through all that stuff. So I think that's been a really good thing that that Disney's has that license to play around with stuff like that.
In both Marvel and on Star Wars, they've really been able to use this platform of Disney Plus to expand the brand, expand the fandom, expand our experiences in those worlds, and not be limited to 2.5 to 3 hours of film to tell one story. Here we're telling multiple stories. So like Star Wars, we get the Mandalorian, and we really haven't had a full live action series like this. We had the Ewok stuff years ago, but it wasn't this, where you just really immersed it. As much as people knock Disney for making episodes 7, 8, and 9, at the same time they've embraced stuff like the Mandalorian, and now we have the Book of Boba Fett to look forward to, which looks again fantastic. Then you also have Obi-Wan coming out next year, and Ahsoka is on the way. Just embracing more of this universe that now they have just really more freedom to just pan out and expand on these places that people like enjoying going to. They like going to the Star Wars universe. They like going to the Marvel universe, and now you're able to expand on it and not be just stuck in a 2.5 hour, 3 hour story of just one moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Now with Marvel, they're using it now to introduce new characters. Catherine Hahn has now been signed on to do more stuff with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They introduced the big bad at the end of Loki. We have new characters starting next year that will be introduced to Ms. Marvel. Will spin off into the Marvels movie that will be coming out, and She-Hulk, that we'll finally get to see a She-Hulk. So they've really utilized this platform that we're not just limited to just regular TV, which is got a lot of hands in the pot.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as the advertisers want one thing, and this executive wants that, and that executive wants this, and this is allowed, and that's not allowed on TV. You've now kind of cut out the extra part and let the creatives doing their creative part.
Correct.
And I think us as consumers and fans are benefiting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's we even got Muppet stuff finally. Muppets is finding a little more of a stable home where we really haven't heard anything from the Muppets for a while.
Yeah.
Between Muppets Now and Muppets Haunted Mansion. And we got the whole almost the entire backlog of the original Muppet Show.
And it just benefits being as powerful as Disney has acquired all of these legendary IPs that eventually by time it's only going to get bigger with all the other IPs they still have in the back lot that they're still sorting out and figuring out where they go. Where could we put this on Disney Plus? If not Disney Plus, where we could put this on Hulu? How can we rebring these kind of series and shows back that kind of fit our generation? So even on top of that, they still have a lot of stuff in the back end that they're still sorting out that are still going to make its way onto that platform.
Yeah, and now they also have that agreement with Sony that a number of the Sony movies will be coming to Disney Plus or Hulu over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So we will have access to all that. Whew.
It's a lot.
It is, and hence why I say for your $7.99 a month, the value that you're getting is quite substantial.
It's a lot. It's a lot of content.
Yeah. It is quite crazy. I think And you could ask me this tomorrow, and I'd probably give a different answer. I think one of my favorite things has been Loki so far.
Loki's been, yeah.
That was just another very well done series that you didn't know exactly which way it was heading. Tom Hiddleston just did a fantastic job, and it just seemed like the writers were having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
And just how they, just the things that they could do with the show.
Yeah,
and again, not be limited to such a constraint. Anything particular with what we know that's coming out in the near future that you're looking forward to?
Other than the Book of Boba Fett, man, it's the one that I'm really pumped for. I think that's going to be a great one. Like I said, in terms of Star Wars, the fact that we're going to be able to visit the underworld of the galaxy and how that operates, and watching one of everybody's favorite bounty hunters kind of rise up from being just a bounty hunter and trying to work his ranks in the criminal underworld. I think it's going to be something very interesting to watch. I think that's going to be very fun to participate. And it's coming out at the end of the year too, which is crazy. Right on top of Hawkeye, which is only dropping in a couple of weeks. So
yeah, that's going to be a lot of good content right there.
Yeah.
The thing that you brought up with Boba Fett is we've known this underworld's been here, and we touched on it a little bit in some of the animated series, and touched on it a little bit with Mandalorian. But now
it's also been touched a lot within the movies themselves throughout the entire.
That's true.
So the underworld has always been there, but it's never been one of exploration until now. Like, to get a crime drama in the galaxy is going to be very intriguing to see how they pull that off, and it's also going to be interesting in what lens are we going to. Is this going to be like the Sopranos of this Star Wars universe? And
that's all I can for some reason think of.
Are we gonna get like almost like the Saints of Newark in this kind of in space? I think that's what's really very interesting about that concept. And again, going back to seeing where these characters have been for these last couple of years and where they were after the events of the Star Wars trilogies, I think there's a lot to mine from there and what they've done, what they've been doing.
Yeah, and I haven't been disappointed with what they've given us. And I'm really enjoying these romps and these little side stories, because it's not the Skywalkers, it's not the main major characters, it's these little side stories that I think just enrich everything else that we've already gotten.
Yeah,
and I think it's going to be fantastic, and you get these nice glimpses of characters from the past. We have Bib Fortuna sitting there on Jabba's throne. So that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Boba Fett comes walking. All right, it's mine now. And more Ming-Na Wen is never a bad thing.
No, it's not. No, it is not. So I'm very interested. Also, like, I think another important story beat that's also being played too. I don't know if I want to ruin it, because I think people haven't really. I think it was revealed in Bad Batch. It would have to be revealed in the Bad Batch. How that's translated. And that's another great thing. It's how the animated series on Disney Plus also make their way back onto the live action stuff. Again, these are all they're all together in the same universe, and that's great.
It's not the animated is one thing, and then you have the live action. Now that Ahsoka has crossed over, it's now really all connected. That you've always had little nuggets in the live action movies. You had the Ghost show up, you had Chopper make a quick, brief opponent, but if you didn't see it, you're not missing anything. It's just it's great if you saw it and know it's there. But now that you had an established character and make a prominent appearance in an episode.
Mm-hmm.
It just changed the whole dynamic, and I think that's great, and I like the characters from the animated, and now being able to just kind of just see everything all together, and just again building upon all this. My collective nerd brain is just loving every second.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to play around with, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good holiday season, man.
Good thing it's cold outside, at least up here in the Northeast, that we will be able to spend plenty of time warm in our house watching plenty of fantastic entertainment.
Yes.
All right, I think that's I think we will leave it here for now, because stay tuned to the social networks, because as much information that we gave you now, there's going to be more released within the next several hours, I'm sure, right before Disney Plus Day, of the amazing stuff. And even if there isn't, this is a lot of stuff here already to be excited about. And I can't wait to, on the back end of things, to talk to you, Isaac, and everyone about Book of Boba Fett when it comes out. Hawkeye will be talking about. We'll finally be able. Shang-Chi. And you saw Eternals too. That's what we wanted to mention.
Yes.
How was your take on Eternals?
You know what?
Spoiler free.
This is a spoiler. Yes, this will be a spoiler free to anybody that hasn't had the opportunity to watch Eternals. It's very funny too, because I did reach to Friday, and I think one of the worst things I could ever do is always give an emotional impulse reaction, because normally when you give reactions to a movie or anything like that, they say it's the best one, but I also kind of felt like maybe it was a little bit too much of an impulse, and I think my real reaction to it was kind of in the middle. I thought it was an okay film. How it was presented, I think it was really well done, beautifully. How it was presented, I think the shots were beautiful. I think the visuals were beautiful. Surprisingly, this was a film. Granted that it was an MCU film, really didn't use a lot of special effects, but when they did it, you noticed it. Not throughout 95% of the film, it was very practical. It was really just the interactions of these characters that have come literally from another planet to help the course of humanity grow. It's essentially MCU kind of introducing basically God, their version of God, into this whole world. And either though I enjoyed it for what the movie was and what they were trying to do, but I also can see its complaints about it. A lot of the issues where you feel like you really didn't really have the opportunity to spend time with these characters, and they really didn't have the opportunity to kind of banter a little bit. Another situation comes, I think, along with the fact that they introduced this kind of now religious aspect of the MCU into it, and the mythologies and how mythology was established within the MCU, and technology and how everybody gains their powers. I think there were a lot of ideas thrown out, a lot that never really had the opportunity to develop maybe the way that they should have, and why. And I felt like there were a lot of things that they were introduced that also kind of made it a bit problematic in how the MCU stories were told. So with that being said, that's why I thought this movie was okay. I thought there were some really interesting things. I think this is really one, but that being said, I do feel that this will be one of the more important MCU movies down the road. Kind of like how Age of Ultron kind of hinted a lot of things to come that led to the events of Infinity War and Endgame. I think you're going to get that same play. I don't think you'll get the same play with Eternals, because Eternals covers a lot of interesting ground that has now planted seeds in terms of more of the cosmic elements and even the stuff that's happened in Earth moving forward with the MCU. So it does get right now. If you were to get it, it's an okay film. I think it's a decent okay film. If you're still an MCU nut that needs to just watch everything, you definitely should, because it's going to play big moving forward.
Okay, so the payoff isn't now. The payoff is yet to come. But if you don't watch it, you're going to probably miss out on some big stuff.
Yeah, I would say that, just because it's just what MCU has done at the moment. You know, it's everything started to get connected together. Again, I did also mention to you how I felt like this, because they were kind of explaining these big ideas. In itself, it felt like maybe this movie should have been kind of like an elsewhere telling, maybe a multi-universe telling, and then maybe later on they could figure out how to unite that into the normal stature of MCU. Because going back was Jack Kirby, because this is one of the last things. Well, this is one of the things that Jack Kirby came back to do before he went to do DC, which he, remember, also started the New Gods over at DC, which is almost the exact same talent as the Eternals back at Marvel. And he ran that same, I think, what I want to say it was 9, I think maybe 19 issues, 9 issues. I might have gotten the number wrong. But it was a limited series. And even then got the same kind of criticism that director Chloe Zhao is getting right now for Eternals. Almost parallel in terms of the different ideas, complexity ideas that are being explained, because there's no real true villain in this film too. I just want to also point out, as you're going to know, there really isn't a true villain in this film. It's really about heroes. I almost want to say it's almost Man of Steel-like, in terms of how they try to show the complexity of a superhero. It wasn't to have these superhero abilities, but still trying to find your humanity in the course of it all. So I would give it that sense of people who haven't really gone to see that film. If you're not big into the Man of Steel, I know DC, but it does play, but there are a little bit of weird similarities played into that. And there is a reference being pointed to. The other two said Man of Steel. So
yes, so I've heard, yes.
So
okay. Well, I look forward to either way. It's something that I'm going to definitely try and get to. And it's a lot of ideas put into the second longest MCU movie to date.
Yeah.
Someone questioned that and said, no, Infinity War and Endgame are the longest. This is 8 minutes longer than Infinity War. So, there you have it. All right. Anything else you'd like to bring up, Isaac?
That is it, my man. That's all I got for you guys today.
All right. Isaac, as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And we'll be having you on soon.
It's good to be back, man. Thank you for having me.
Same. Well, that would do it for this week. Thank you for joining in. What are your thoughts of Disney Plus? And what are you excited for what's to come? Tomorrow, next week, next month, next year? Let us know. Join the conversation. Find us on the social networks. Our Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/Disney Marvels Podcast. On Instagram, we're at Disney Marvels Podcast. TikTok, we're at Disney Marvel Podcast. And on the Twitter, we're at Disney Marvels. Also, don't forget to search and find and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a comment? Have a suggestion? Leave a voice message through the Anchor app or Anchor.fm website. You could also record a message electronically on your own digital device, be it your laptop, your computer, your smartphone, whatever you have, your pad, your iPad, your Kindle Fire, whatever you got. Record a message on there and email it to DisneyMarvels@gmail.com. Any questions that you may have, any suggestions you may have, you could also mail to that address as well. Don't forget to check out the Disney Marvels blog over at disneymarvels.blogspot.com. Links to all of these are in the show notes. I want to thank Isaac for his time, for joining us on this show. And it's not like I told him just a few hours before we're recording, hey, you available to record? Because he is that amazing, that awesome, that yes, that's what I did, and that's what he ended up doing. But I also want to thank you guys for your time. I know how crazy time is. I'm still struggling with my schedule, hence why, this is coming out late and missed a week and so much going on. But hey, I'm still trying to get this out to you guys. I love bringing this to you. I know you guys enjoy it, so bear with me. Again, time. I know all of us it's crazy, and the fact that you guys come back and listen and you enjoy the show really means a lot to me. And your time spent, our time spent together does not go unnoticed. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Just again, as I always ask, please tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell anyone you know that you hear is into Disney, you know that's into Disney. Check out the Disney Marvels podcast. Go find them on your favorite podcast application. And while you're at it, please go on to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. We have all 5-star reviews at the moment. They keep coming in, and I really, really appreciate it. I'm again, like I said, I'm truly blessed. It means a lot to me because it's the way that we connect. I get your feedback, either through the social media or on there, and doing it on Apple, they help promote the show as well. For instance, we got another review here. Let me read it out for you from Can't Get Enough. Excellent podcast. This podcast is my first go-to for anything Disney related. I love how the host is able to weave in prose and personal storytelling together so well. I can't wait for the next episode. Thank you so much. I hope my stories come across well, and I do what I can. We all do what we can. From all of us over on this end of the microphones. Thank you. That means a lot to us, and we hope that we can keep bringing you good content. So, while you're at it, don't forget to become a subscriber. Subscribe to the show, and the more people in this Disney family, the better it is. Walt believed in a big Disney family, so do I. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, like I just said. This way you always know when new episodes are posted. Like if I'm running late, like this week. While you're at it, consider becoming a premium subscriber. Help the show out. Keep the lights on. Keep things coming along. You could do this over at anchor.fm/DisneyMarvels/support. Or find our Patreon page. You can get some cool stuff over there. You could also check out our Disney merchandise shop. Get yourself some cool, fun Disney Marvel stuff. Like I've been wearing my new hoodie around since the temperatures here in New Jersey are dropping down. It's been quite comfortable, and I've got a number of compliments between how cool it looks and, like I said, I find it very comfortable. I don't want to take it off. It's been it holds up well, and it's been really good. So get yourself one. Remember, this show is brought to you by listeners like you. Whatever you're facing out there, whatever troubles, whatever hard times you may be facing. Don't ever give up. Don't ever think you're not worth it, because you are. You probably mean more to other people than you can realize. There is someone out there who's looking up to you, who needs you in their life. Don't sell yourself short, because you are special, you are unique, and you are wonderful. There's a light inside of you, let it shine. Be your own hero. Never give up, never give in, and don't be afraid to make that first step and ask for help if you need it. Now I'd like to end this week's show, of course, with a quote from Walt Disney himself. Out of our years of experimenting and experience, we learned one basic thing about bringing pleasure and knowledge to people of all ages and conditions, which goes to the very roots of our public communication. That is this: the power of relating facts as well as fables in story form. And it's Walt Disney himself. Thank you again for listening, and I'll see you next time.